Hello, Pisces. My name is Tiffany from Tiffany's Tarology, and it's so good to be here with all of you today. Today, we are going to be using the Herbal Astrology Oracle, and we are going to be using the Earth Woman Tarot. So we're going to get really into our Earth energy here. It's a wonderful time to do so with it being summer, kind of the last couple weeks of summer, you guys. Fall is approaching. But I wanted to dive into these particular decks because yesterday I did a continuing education. I'm a veterinarian, so every 2 years we have to do continuing education to keep up our license. And I did a continuing education on behavioral supplementation for our pets and our, livestock that we can give them to help with anxieties, phobias, stress, aggression, things like that. So what was interesting to me is I have this fascination with herbalism, but I haven't dived in. I also have issues with routine, and a lot of these herbs and tinctures and things like that, they take time to build up in the body, so you can't just take it once and think it's going to work. Right now, Pisces, are you going through something where maybe a supplement would help with your cortisol levels or maybe your sleep? Are you in a phase in your life where maybe hormones are out of balance, or there's things that you're working on within the body to help assist with the aging process, oxidation, cleanses, things like that? They could all be significant to you. I definitely want to see if Spirit will show us specifically any kind of roots or herbs or plants that we can work with, and then we'll kind of see what comes up in the Earth Woman Tarot. So yeah, those could all be significant to you at this time. It was fascinating to me. But definitely try, if you can, Pisces, if you're struggling with routine, to set reminders, try to make a daily habit, schedule your life. Those could all be significant for you at this time, as it will help you to achieve greater gains. But spirit guides, angels, ancestors of the highest white Christed light, we ask that you join us here at this time to tap into this energy and see what it is that we need to receive from these oracle cards. Also, Pisces, I do offer 1, 2, or 3 question readings. Look in the description box to see how to book with me. And when you're booking with me, just include as much information as possible outside of just the 3, the 1, 2, or 3 questions. Give me some background. I love hearing about what's going on in your life, the people's birthdays, zodiac signs, just what's going on in your life. It helps the reading to fly by much faster. But all right, let's dive in. So we have rosemary, ancient memory. We have coca, foresight, angel's trumpet, death, dragon's blood, anima mundi. We have Jurgun Sasha, transfiguration, Saint John's wort, radiance. We have nettle, action, and motherwort, strength. And you have chamomile for inner peace on the bottom of your deck. Okay, so I took a little time to look through these 8 cards because the descriptions of these cards are so expansive and I don't want to miss out on anything, but I also want to be mindful of your time here on this video. And we obviously can't read every card. But what I'm getting from the gist of this, and we will still go through all the cards, is Pluto keeps coming up in the death of the angel's trumpet, in the dragon's blood, in the transfiguration of the Jurgen Sasha, also in the nettle. There's Pluto in every single card, and it does show the elements, and I'll show those to you when we pull them up close. So Pisces, right now, just as a whole, you are going through a big, big death and rebirth phase of your life. And the readings that we've been coming across over the last couple of weeks have really been about letting people go, shedding the old self, accepting your gifts, stepping into a new role, becoming something you've never been. So there's so much going on, I feel like, at a spiritual level, that you may also now be experiencing things at a physical level. And one of those things that you may be experiencing is changes with blood. And for those of you who are women, especially the menstrual cycle or maybe the lack thereof, the changes of that could be very significant to you at this time. But starting off here with the Rosemary card, there are old memories, ancient memories that you came into this life with that you are uncovering, Pisces. And you're going through this awakening right now where you're starting to realize the truth behind the reason you're here, the soul contracts you've come into this life with, how seriously to take some of these things, and how you also need to really look at how you can transmute this energy and change this energy, because you are so ancient and your soul has been here and your soul is here to learn. This is a opportunity, Pisces, for you to not get bogged down with all the details and the worries of the world. You have the Sun and Mercury symbol here at the top of this card. And that's just letting you know that there's a lot of information, a lot of communication, a lot of downloads coming into the crown, and you are becoming enlightened about the world that you live in and the contracts that you're a part of. And you're also realizing, I can transmute this. I can move beyond this. I can move past this. This is just a part of my soul's journey. And yes, this has been a difficult road, but I can move on. And I'm glad I learned these lessons, but I don't have to stay here. And that's why you've been working with your foresight. The jaguar could be a significant animal guide for you. Being connected to the Amazon or South America could be significant to you as well. But this particular card, the Coca card, looks at foresight. And when I was reading up on it, there's all this information about how they've used certain herbs and things like that indigenously for us to be able to kind of go into the mind and see the future. You're uncovering these gifts of foresight. You've had these gifts. You're cultivating them. You're growing them. And this is a time for you, Pisces, to just understand that God has given you the foresight to see the things that you're seeing as clearly as you're seeing them, so that you can just be aware. Your awareness is changing. Yes, you're going through a whole lot, but your perspective of life is shifting. I feel like the gist of these cards was saying you're going through a profound awakening. You are also transmuting a lot of evils and the gifts that you've been given from your ancient life and the foresight, the gifts you have now of being like clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, being a reader, many of you yourselves, or just being extremely intuitive or psychic, being mediums. They're helping you to navigate the world around you, because there's a great deal of change. With the angel's trumpet, that's where we actually see the death is here. This is a time for you. And a bat could be significant, where you are being asked to shed, purge, let go. That's where that blood's going to come up in a couple of other cards that we're going to read. 3 cards actually mention blood. So the angel's trumpet is about accepting that you are going through a profound shift. I want you to look at what's happening, the crumbling that is taking place, and trust it. Because this does not serve you anymore. Whatever this is that you're going through, you're recovering your gifts. You have foresight of what is to come. And Spirit says, now this period must end. You've learned the lessons. You've transmuted the energy. The death and rebirth process must take place. But you have fierce protectors. With the dragon's blood, you may be connected to dragon energy, dragon spirits. But what I found interesting is they said when you bleed this type of tree, it bleeds like blood. The sap comes out like blood. And the ancient ones, the tribal ones, they really revered this tree. Anima Mundi is about being one with the earth, one with consciousness. You have a huge crown chakra activation that's happening right now, Pisces. You're ascending. And I want you to understand that everything you're feeling, everything you're going through, the cycles that you see in your life that are closing out, the cycles that you see that are opening, the portals that you're walking through, it's all happening because you finally have opened your life. You've let go, you've purged, you've released where you've been, where you've come from, maybe how you were raised. You're healing those wounds from your childhood. You're letting go of narcissistic abuse, walking away from unfulfilling work. And now as you become one with the earth, you're going to start to see that the towers are going to start falling. But what was cool about the Jurgen Sasha is they said this was used by natives to actually neutralize venom from snakes and other poisonous bites. So Spirit is saying, yes, the tower in your life is falling, but you have the tools and the protection to transmute that negativity into your power. And yes, there might be people around you who are like serpents, who are sneaky, who have tried to take from you, who have tried to inject their poison into your veins, hurt you, unalive you for some of you, make you feel worthless or less than. You are actually going to be able to use the energy of transfiguration and transmutation and alchemy, right? To distort that energy and to actually move beyond it. You see the tower and you see the snakes in your life for who they are. You're remembering your power. You're shedding the old. And I feel like this is just a representation of the fight you have within you and also the resilience. So then as you walk into this midsummer's night dream, you have the St. John's wort of radiance. People don't understand how you are just flowing through life. You don't look like what you've been through. And Spirit is saying you're radiating joy, you're radiating beauty. It talked about this house in the background that's on fire. St. John's wort was burned in homes to release any negativity out of the home. So a lot of you are dealing with toxic living situations, family situations, home lives. There's something where the home needs to be blessed. You're purging that old sense of self, and that home could also be you, because we understand that the home is a representation of the body, of the self. And so a lot of you are saying, this is not who I am anymore. I'm breaking free. This woman doesn't have any clothes on. She is completely alive within her world without any restrictions, running with animals and being connected to the earth. And so there's a part of you, Pisces, that's just ready to break free from all of this toxicity that God is helping you see through, and you're transmuting all of it. But it's like, I see you breaking free. 3 could be significant. So then you have the nettle, and it said that the nettle kind of like stings when you touch it, and it can cause increased blood flow. You see another snake here. What your spirit guides are saying is it's time for you to take action, to move, get that blood pumping, move that body, remove yourself from these people around you that have been trying to take, or these situations that have been trying to take. It's time to revitalize yourself. This is Mars-Pluto energy. I want you to be able to look at where you've been, taking stock of the snakes in your lives that have been stinging you and hurting you, and actually saying, no more. I'm done with this. And the last card being the Mother Wort, strength. You might be the pillar of strength for your family. You may be a mother. You may be going through the shift of menopause. You may also be a grandmother, the matriarch of your family. And there's something here about women being significant. If you're a man, you could be connected with this person. But right now, they're saying to focus on your heart. Focus on that lioness energy, that lion energy within you. There's that beautiful lion right there. And also, your cardiovascular system could be significant. Also, your menstruation could be significant. You're shedding this old life. You're having to kind of go through the trenches of what it means to be reborn. Some of you are actually going through fertility transits. Some of you, that fertility transit is more what you're bringing into this life as far as your gifts and what you're working on, what you're creating, the new life that you are also creating is significant. And Spirit is saying you are headed towards a life of peace with that chamomile. And I'm sure many of you have chamomile tea or have had it in your life. And it may be significant for you at this time. This card was kind of flying off over there, and it's talking about harmony, and I see the justice coming in. There's so much about justice in our readings lately, Pisces. So overall, I know this is kind of in depth, but you're going through a big shift. Some of you on a physical level, some of you on a spiritual level, many of us on both. But remember who you are, where you came from. The foresight that you've been given, this transformation that you're going through, you are so protected. You are purging, maybe through physical blood loss, or you've had an injury or something recently, but you are going to be able to fight against these dragons and these towers that are trying to come up against you. You are very protected, especially by the dragons. That's very significant today. Mother Mary could also be significant to you. I guess there's a connection with her and Rosemary. But okay, let's dive in to your tarot. Current situation for Pisces as they're going through this big shift. I definitely do think that many of you, though, are going through a pause in your life where it's like, okay, I'm recalibrating. Shedding of the old is very significant. Current situation for Pisces. 2 major arcana. Are you kidding me? To start the reading off, the Magician and the Fool. You are in the midst of living out the manifestation that you created, Pisces. You told yourself, I want a new life. And yes, with the new life, there's a crumbling of the old. And sometimes in manifestation, we don't think about that. We manifest the car, the money, the new life, this and that, but we don't think about, well, now the old car might conk out on you, or that job might let you go, or in order for you to get to that new city, your house is going to fall apart, right? So understand that, yes, you're headed toward this new manifested life. You're protected along the way because there's going to be mountains and valleys and looks like water, big water that you've got to go through. But you are literally living in the manifestation that you created for yourself. Very proud of you, Pisces. These are new waters that are not so familiar. What's challenging this at this time? What's the challenge for Pisces? 8 of Cups. You're walking into the unknown, unfamiliar. There's some naivety here, and that's okay. It keeps us young. It keeps us desiring more. When you get to that next destination, you might find that there's alterations that are needed. But I think there's just been a difficulty in walking away when this comes up in the challenge position, just as a general consensus. It just may have been difficult over the years to just walk away. This could mean that the last 10 years you've been kind of breaking away from the old self. This could mean over the last year that you completely severed a tie, or you're in the midst of severing a tie. But I want you to trust that this walking away is going to lead you to that new beginning. And in order for you to get to the other side, the old life has to go through that death, that Pluto, that transformation. The way that you think and feel is so different now, Pisces. Your strengths. You have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. You're no longer building with people that do not support you moving forward. I see this band of sisters here, these community members, friends, colleagues, whatever these, co-workers, whoever these people are. You're seeing a profound shift because this is in the reverse. Your strength is you realized, oh, they don't actually have my best intention. Oh, these were the snakes that all those oracle cards were talking about. And you're moving on without these people. And I see instead of there being 3, you're kind of moving into a place where you have a little bit more like, this is solo time. This is time for me to really go forward, take action, be inspired on my own. Ace of Wands. Because working with all these other people in your life, Five of Wands, was leading to a lot of confusion and disarray. You are aligning with your highest self, and that does require a lot of purging, loss, fluid loss. You might physically be going through difficulties with your cycle. You may be having difficulties with your health. You may be going through changes with hormone balance. You may be dealing with injury or something of that nature, imbalance in the brain. Again, I am not a human doctor, so please do not look to these readings as medical advice, but there is a spiritual component to why we can feel the way we do. Area of focus for Pisces, area of focus. I feel a card right here. You have the King of Wands. It was funny. I was listening to a reading or I think it was Instagram, and it said, what card has been stalking you lately? And I'm like, the King of Wands has been stalking me and my Pisces collective. So they want you to think about this opposing force in your life. The King of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius could be significant. And I want you to think, instead of trying to rally against this energy, how can you become this energy? How can you alchemize, transmute, transfigure this energy and become the King of Wands of your own life? There could be a person who has been trying to take charge of you, be in charge of you, rule your life, kind of in an unforgiving way, a little bit pompous. They may have made you feel like you want to retreat with the Hermit card here. They could be family. I did see the Hierophant, or someone that you share, a close bond with, or something like a business with. But the goal here is to let this person and this situation go. In order to have that new life, the ancient memory within you must come back of like where your power lies, who you really are. I hear F around and find out type of energy. And you are in a place right now, Pisces, where you are being asked to become the lion, to become that King of Wands that has been bullying you, putting you down, making you think you're not worthy. Or if that's a place in your life where you've been struggling with worthiness, where you've been struggling with self-love, it's time to master that. Near future. You have the Star. You're going through profound healing. You're in your Aquarian energy. You're in this place now where you feel, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to let go. Again, like fluid loss of any type in the body could be significant. Whether you've been purging, sweating, menstruating, had an injury where you bled, even kind of like purification through the things that you're drinking and releasing through your urinary tract. I'm seeing that as well. There is a lot of just letting things go. Replenishing yourself with water is going to be very significant as well. So just make sure you're drinking a lot of water at this time, Pisces. But you're healing. And in a lot of ways, I see the balance being restored into your life again. That was taken off balance by these people who were not trying to work with you, by these governing powers that were too boastful and in charge of you and unforgiving. And with the Eight of Cups, you're also healing this inability for you to take a stand. And maybe you've just allowed yourself to be walked on for too long. Now Pluto's coming in and it's like, no, this is done. Recent past. You have the Six of Cups, so some type of soulmate energy here. The Two of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. So Pisces, recent past, you dealt with somebody in your life who I think you consider to be a very close friend, close ally, family member, someone in your inner circle. And you've had to course correct this situation. You've had to go in a new direction. And it's been difficult. There could be finances involved, your security at stake. And I think what you are trying to do is trying to move out of that energy of the old group, the old life, the old friends, the old systems, and into something that is more aligned with your life. I see you also looking back and reminiscing over maybe the toxic patterns and cycles that have been going on for a really long time that you needed to get rid of. And now you have the tools. Now you're ready for this more stable life, this peaceful life, where you're nurtured, where you're comforted, where you're taking care of home and family, where you're allowed to be who you need to be. And most importantly, where you can shine. You're not trying to be boastful about this peace and this prosperity that you are coming into, Pisces. You are just understanding that you are deserving of it. And that's the truth. There's people who were holding you back from being your best, from being prosperous, taking from you. A lot of you were used. And so as that ancient memory is coming back, you're reminded you're royalty, Pisces, or you have gifts, Pisces. And this is just a contract that you came in to learn to love and respect yourself. You're protected. You're ascending. Everybody around you can see that radiant energy coming off of you. You've built so much strength and resilience. And especially for those of you who are on here who are women, you are starting to accept and love being a woman. And if you're a masculine, I think you're starting to accept and love women for all that they do. Maybe there was this time when there was a distorted energy that you had towards women. And now you're starting to see, wow, they're mothers. Wow, they do so much for the family. They are such healers. They go through so much with their physical body. Like, I feel like there's masculines who are going into their divine masculine, who are seeing now the true player of the woman in their lives. And in their embodying their divine feminine, right? And a lot of the feminine I'm reading to, you are also tapping more into your divine feminine. I can tell you for one thing, for me, I appreciate women so much more now that I have been married, now that I have a child, and now that I see what it's like to be a mother. It's something else. It's really something else. All right. Advice. I love this card. This is you, Pisces, heading in to the sunset, accepting the new life, the change, the beauty that is waiting for you. There's a sunset that's approaching of this old life, and the sunrise is going to bring you into greater awareness of who you are, of what you're meant to do in this life. I think that you had to go through the trials, the tribulations, through the towers falling, through the death and rebirth process, because Spirit says there's more for you. You are protected along this journey. And when I look at the cards that are kind of striking to me most right now, is these cards are all showing someone walking forward, going forward, heading in a new direction. They seem to be on a new route. And I feel like they feel there is a distant call for their soul to transition, to do something new, to be someone they've never been. And Pisces, I think your spirit team are saying, we've got you. Just trust us. We know you don't know exactly where you're going, but follow that intuitive gift we've given you, Queen of Cups. That foresight that those cards talked about, and you are going to see your way to the other side. And don't be afraid. Knight of Wands, be daring, be bold, be brave. You can do hard things. All right. Environment for Pisces. The Seven of Wands. This is also a card I've been seeing come up for us a lot lately, which is really cool. You are now putting up boundaries where they are necessary. You are no longer letting people put you down. You're trying to talk better to yourself. You're really focused on doing what feels good for you. And part of that is also asserting who you are, stepping into the forefront and saying, this is who I am. This is what I am. And for many of you, I'm sorry to harp on the women part of this, but that's just what's coming through in this reading. Many of you are having to accept and love on the fact that I am woman, hear me roar type of energy. Because for so many years you were put down just because you weren't a man. But for others of you, this could be asserting yourself in a relationship. If you were the one who would always bend and never break, this is time for you to assert that you are strong and valiant and courageous. And that is such a beautiful thing to be embracing at this time, Pisces. Sorry, I dropped my deck. Hopes and fears. Pisces. I think you're a little bit afraid, but also ready for what is happening in your life right now. You know that you are attached to something negative in your life that you need to rid yourself of. And this situation could involve an emperor, it could be a masculine energy. It also could be that you need to just find ways to be in charge of your own life. But I want you to embrace what is ending. Love on yourself and give yourself grace and understand that you are going to blossom again into a beautiful, beautiful new person. And that these old contracts that kept you bound, that kept you stuck, that did not allow you to grow your soul to its highest potential, still helped you grow in some way. They were teaching you valuable lessons about where maybe there was codependency, lack, bad habits, toxicities, where you needed to handle wounding and power plays and power struggles and all of that. And, you may have this emperor energy in your life who has been, kind of sitting in that King of Wands in charge of you type of energy, and you're breaking out of it, even if it's just standing for the kind of masculine hierarchy that we live in within this world, where you've had to work the 9 to 5, or you've been in this hustle culture mentality for so long, if this isn't a physical person. But it's time for you to let that go and be your own boss, be in charge of your own self. There is an end to this suffering with the 10 of Swords and the 5 of Cups, 5 of Cups. No more of this sad Pisces. No more of this used up and abused Pisces. This is time for you to shed these tears. Let this life go. Release in the form of crying could also be what I was seeing with the fluid loss from the body. And it's time for you to be reborn, awaken anew. It's in your DNA to be of high ranking, of someone who has ancient power. And I want you to embody that. Potential outcome for Pisces. You have the 5 of Pentacles. I'm going to read it like this. The 8 of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles. The reason I wanted to read it like this is the 10 of Pentacles is the end all be all. This is the end, so we'll get there. But right now, Pisces, you're afraid to let go of something that needs to be let go of. Your 5 of Pentacles is here. It's saying this situation has run out of time. It's taking from you. It's no longer giving to you. If you see a little ear, that's my little dog Panda. This is a situation where you are at your wit's end with something in your life where you're not being appreciated, paid what you're worth, given, what you're worth. You're tired of being sidelined. You're sad. There could be like a mistress or someone in the crux of it. You could be going through fertility struggles, all of that. There could just be issues around children, around your finances, and you're feeling stuck or trapped. But Spirit is saying, you are the key. You are the solution to getting yourself out of this situation by trusting that you're living in your manifestation. And yes, the world is falling apart, quote unquote, around you. But it's actually falling apart so that you can move to the next phase. Let the towers fall and remember that you're protected. Just like the card, let me see which one it was. Sorry, guys. The Jurgen Sasha. No, not that one. Yes, this one. The Jurgen Sasha talked about how this particular herb is used to be an anti-venom. The things around you that have tried to hurt you, take from you, they will not be able to do what they intended to do. You free yourself and you walk into this 10 of Pentacles. You walk into that new home, that new job, that place of security, the right relationship where you'll be treated like royalty by your partner. Those children come in during this time. And also there's financial plenty. You're safe. You're secured. And that is what your spirit guides have been trying to take you through on this journey is just, okay, Pisces, we see that you've learned the hard lessons, but now you got to go. You got to get out of here. You got to take the leap. That's that Fool card energy. Don't feel stuck on these past energies that emotionally are taking from you. And don't worry about how the cards are falling at this time. There is a healing that is coming over you at this time, Pisces. You have a lot of options and opportunity that are going to be coming in for you. Don't worry about what it looks like. Take the leap. Extend your arm to the options that are going to be making themselves available to you and trust this process that's unfolding. All right, Pisces, I love you guys so much. Please make sure to like this video. Leave me a comment below if this resonated, and I will see you guys again tomorrow with another one. Bye, Pisces.